green Zoro against Bonney. And you have to carry me here because I...
Yeah, I know the cards. So like the first Zoro is just it's just a 2k counter, to be honest. The three Dawn event is just like a restand leader.
Mm-hmm.
So like what is the music, like Invincible that Uta had, remember?
Yes. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
exactly the same.
Oh, okay.
And the 5 cost Tashigi and the 4 cost you see next to Zoro is basically the same effect. It's like rest something and put 3 Dawn on leader. But the one is activate main, the other one is on play.
Wait, the Tachigi sounds
So-
really broken, actually.
Tashigi is galaxy broken, yeah.
3 done.
I think the Zoro 2k actually rests at 2 costs, so I'm pretty convinced here it's not bad to play it. No, you don't use her, right? Oh, he does?
Work?
I don't know. Do you really think it's correct to use it here?
I honestly don't know.
Okay. I guess he's gonna just Tashigi and go 9 into it, into the Cavendish here.
Doing the socials and
I
then
don't
I'm coming on school with you because I honestly don't know all these cards.
Oh yes, maybe I should tell chat this. I'm calling in from Cyprus today because I'm away for like a few days, for like 10 days, back home to see my family. So that's why my sound is a little bit different. I'm like from a headset instead of my usual mic.
From a different world.
Yes, different side of the world. I don't know, like you see what I mean, right? Like us having our 4 cost die there because we used it like that.
Hmm?
Allowed them to double 2k counter the Cavendish, and now you're in an awful spot, right?
Is it an awful spot? It still seems good for me. No?
You think so? Your Tashiki is frozen. Which one are you gonna kill with leader next turn? The Carrot or the Cavendish?
The Carrot you can't kill, right? Oh, with Cavendish you mean?
No, you have Tashigi again, so you can rest the Carrot again.
Ah, okay.
Like our leftmost card in hand is the same as the one on the board, and it's like rest the 5 cost, put 3 down on leader, right? So, but the leader can only attack on one character, and the second one has to be face. So you need to choose to kill one of them, and the question is which one do you kill?
I think I would kill the Carrot.
You see what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cavendish has higher upside, but Carrot is better. Like at this spot.
Yeah, true.
But it depends what they have here for 4 dawn. Yeah, so here it doesn't matter because here you can't kill the Carrot, right? This is incorrect for sure. Because now you are killing the Uruj instead. It is definitely incorrect to rest the Carrot there, right? You always rest the Uruj and kill the. Wait, what? Wait, really? I'm so surprised. I guess if you
Going for...
I'm so confused, man. Because we could have just blocked the leader hit, right, with Uruj, and then you're trading Uruj basically for the leader swing instead of. Well, if you rested Uruj there, you guaranteed you kill Cavendish. Well, now they're gonna go like 9, probably 9/9 into your Tashigis. I guess you can save both of them, but then there's nothing left.
Almost there.
Maybe it was okay. But I would have liked to kill the Cavendish for sure, right? Like the way he played like this, Noah, they could have saved both the Carrot and the Cavendish. It would have been brutal if they just blocked with the Rouge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hand doesn't seem great for Noah at the moment. You need like some. Do they play big drops?
They only play the Mihawk 8 cost. So the deck is not. It's not made to play big stuff. Honestly, it's just tempo them out because every turn, right? You're killing one other thing and attacking face for 8.
Mm-hmm.
So you're killing their board and their life basically every turn, right? That's the power of the deck. But this is why I said it didn't look very good for him. Because now he's forced into this position where he has to throw his whole hand away.
Oh shit, that doesn't look good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you just put all your, like, insane amount of dons on your Zoro and attack the Cavendish, right?
Can he ever go, like, put him to 0 and swing 2 times next turn? Is that ever a possibility?
Yeah, for sure. But your leader attacks a character always and the leader, right? So you always want to get the leader swing on the Cavendish first. Because that's free, basically.
Yeah.
It's kinda like Hawkins was in Law. You remember Hawkins?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that. So if it attacks a character, you can restand it. I think 10 is good because now you can still play Cavendish and go 9 with Tashigi. And important thing about the Zoro leader, he says it cannot attack a character that costs 8 or less. So what you can do here is no, that's too much, because if you do this, you guarantee that the Cavendish dies. But you know what you could have done is, because that Zoro says, the leader says 7 cost or less. So if you attacked, like, let's say 10 and he blocks 2k 1k, you can active your leader and kill the Mihawk then, because now the Mihawk is rested and your leader can still attack a 7 or higher, right? And that Mihawk is an 8 cost. So he didn't need to put that much down on the Tashigi, because if opponent blocks there, it's good for you because you get to kill their Mihawk for free. I don't know if that makes sense.
But was it guarantee?
It was, yeah, because we go 10 into 6, right? And they block 2k, 1k. Now they have 0 cards in hand. You just active leader with effect and kill the Mihawk because they have 0 cards in hand. Right? So if you just went 10, it was actually only strictly better for you, because they would throw both their cards of their hand and lose the Mihawk. So it was, you just don't go 12 there ever.
A lot of players are not finding their opponents, so I'm trying to help.
I don't think you can counter here. I think you have to take this. You need some cards.
Ooh, that's a new Bonney, I think.
Yeah, this Bonney is so good. It's like draw 2, discard 1, and tap a Don if there is 8 rested Dons or more. So in this situation, it's just draw 2, discard 1, like the Sabo 5 cost blocker, but it also gives you a Don back.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, this is insane now, right? And this is where you need to remember that your leader can, in fact, attack twice on the Mihawk. So you don't need to put that much down. Again, you don't need to over commit into this. Yeah, like this is 12 is
Isn't this like a free Tashigi, free block with Rosinante?
yeah, but you can attack again into it. Because it's a 7 or more. You can attack. Because leader says this cannot attack characters with original cost 7 or less, but the Mihawk is an 8 cost, right? So now we can attack the Mihawk again. That was the base of the play last turn that I was talking about.
This thing can swing 3 times 12?
Now, only if you have the event, right? He just drew the event now.
Still pretty sick.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not sure why we didn't block with the Bonney there. I guess he values the Bonney. Maybe he has Kid in hand. The problem is this Zoro deck has a built-in way to beat Kid because Kid is an 8 cost, right? So that means leader can attack twice by default. Oh, Mihawk is a good draw.
Yeah, it keeps him alive. Can he restand the Zoro even when it's frozen? I guess he can, right?
No, he needs to. No, he needs to have attacked the character this turn.
Oh, okay.
It's exactly like a Hawkins, you know.
Yeah.
Like it needs to attack character. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like good old Hawkins.
Yeah. But the good thing, it doesn't happen exactly on attack, so Bonney can't rest you because it's activate main. It's not like because Hawkins, right? You attack and it untaps instantly, so that Bonney could tap him instantly. While in this leader is an activate main, so you attack and then after the attack, because you attacked, you can now activate him whenever you want.
Bonney actually seems in a good spot. From well, not
It depends.
maybe not on this board, but like
It depends what he has in hand, right?
the cards they gained look really good, right?
Oh, like that you mean? Yeah, the Bonney 5 cost is super good, like, and the Mihawk. But I think this Zoro matchup is tough for Bonney.
Yeah, because so many swings as well.
Yeah, it's because your Echo's key doesn't work against this deck, right? Because they can put 10 down on leader and go 15 twice on it. So
I guess not be able to kill the 1 cost gives the Bonney a lot of value every single turn for 1 done to potentially find an out. Or like counter extra blockers or whatsoever. And with like only 1 card in hand, the Bonney can maybe get close to. I wanted to say outgrind, but like. Sound alert was wrong. Ooh, Hoddy. We can actually kill board.
yeah, the thing is, if you kill board, no, you cannot kill board. You have to go for game, right? Because the leader, if he attacks the leader and you block with the 5 cost, he just untaps and kills you. Right? It's like Hawkins. But 7 life is so weird. We don't have enough attacks. I think he miscalculated it here for sure.
Now he can't win, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't go 7 life first and then 6, right? Like this is just. I mean, the Zoro won here, but I think this game, in a normal situation, Bonney wins this game like very often. Like most of the time, Bonney wins this game, right? The way that this played out. Because that turn we left our Carrot die. If we just block with Rouge, we just win, right? Like we untap with both Carrot and Cavendish.
Now. And the Zoro can swing.
What do you mean?
Like the. Yeah, we're just dead on board, right?
Yeah, this is over. I'm saying this game is over. Yeah. We lost 100%, but I'm saying this game in a normal situation, I think Bonney would win this game. The way that this played out.
Watch Noah hit first on a character before he goes guaranteed.
Honestly, would not be surprised.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope this game bugged and he would have lost.
The
would like to see. How it does, though, in the face of a removal deck like Marco that focuses more on power.
Oh, but it's
Yeah, I would assume it's pretty bad against Marco, to be honest, because it's only by effects, right? The effect, so you can
Yeah.
just minus an attack into it.
Yeah, but the interesting thing with Olden is that you could just leave the character active, for example.
Yeah.
We will have to
Like
see
attack once,
how this matchup
attack
goes.
once and activate. You mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this could be very
Oh,
interesting.
It's animal Marco actually.
Very
Yeah.
interesting, yeah. With some interesting. Oh, I guess that the cross skilled 2K or the 2-cost blocker. I imagine that's also an animal too.
yes, and you can play it
Yeah.
off your event, so you can use it a little bit like an extra protection or extra life if you keep event open when you're at like 0 or 1. And you can also play it, of course, from event from the 3-cost chopper as well. But it has a lot of benefits, I would say. See, and that's
and speaking of events, we do see it here.
We did.
I don't know.
The thing is,
I think here I really like. I would rather just make sure I stack the Alabasta chopper on top to make sure I hit. I don't know. I think he chose to go for the random hit. But I guess here he gets kind of rewarded. Not really, right? Like the reach is
maybe
not
not the
that
target
good.
he wants to see.
Yeah.
And one thing about this blue-yellow Nami deck is that it is very, very powerful into aggro, with the leader effect making your leader plus 2,000 for the entire turn. So even if he gets his animals online, it may be tricky for them to actually start hitting.
This was also a leader when it was released, and I was like, this must be a translation fault. It's no way that Nami is 7k for the full turn. But
I have a question here, actually. Why do you think we swung 5 first? Because I understand he wants to leave one down for event, but we didn't have the event. So does it not make way more sense to play the Nami first, see if you draw the event, and if you don't, then you leader effect? And go 6?
I do think that would probably be the correct play. Blue-yellow Nami as a deck, the 1k and 2ks don't have a huge difference, so just waiting to see if you do find the event would be the correct play. But he's still not punished in this spot, at least.
I guess the only punish can be a Gravity Blade trigger if the Nami actually takes the swing of Marco. So.
Yeah. Nami... the thing with Nami, though, is that because she has so many ways of dealing with smaller characters, such as Zeus, such as Nojiko, she tends not to run Gravity Blade. But this may also just be something that you learn as you play more OP12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that we did learn by now in the West is that Zeus is like insane broken. The card is every regionals in Betty though, but the card is like carrying every regionals into the matchups. It's super, super good. Maybe the best 2K at the moment in the game. I'd argue.
Ooh, yeah, it might be. Yeah, no, there's some insane 2Ks right now, and the 7-cost Newgate in what was pretending to be an animal Marco, just immediately taking care of that Kuma, despite it being 8 costs, because the power is still going to be 7,000.
Best special art in the game for me, the Newgate as well. I also played a bunch of Marco, and this is. But Nami is like just healing, trashing life. Like it seems really strong for me at the moment. Like,
yeah. So Nami's leader effect seems like she'd be very defensive, but it's through the leader effect that she's allowed to play very offensive. So it's thanks to this 8-cost kid that's not only trashing the opponent's life, but also drawing a card, and also the 1-on leader, making it very hard for the opponent to actually try to end the game. And she's already in a spot where Marco only has 1 life.
I also think most people thought that the effect would draw you cards when you stack your life. But in the end, it's just you attack their life, they take life, and that's how you draw.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a really versatile deck, and I think that in the right meta, it'll eventually be very, very powerful.
I mean, here we can actually. No, I mean, I guess it has to be Rayleigh here, right? Like.
Rayleigh into your Newgate is like super good, right?
It pops both Kigunochu and the kid, right? So you -2 the kid here, right? Then you -2 the kid again, 3 the Kigunochu, pop it with Rayleigh, and then your Newgate pops the kid.
Yeah.
Right? So 3 on Kikunochu, 2 on Kid.
You can actually.
Then now the new gate can keep Bobbit. Yeah, perfect.
You can first swing as well into the kit to try to get some cards as well. I guess this is doing the same.
You could. I guess if they let it go, you can just pop the Zeus as well, which is not the end of the world. Ooh, pudding.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the strengths of Nami. Because she bounces so many cards back to the opponent's hand, it makes it so it's very easy to use Pudding. Deck generally runs 4 copies of it. And now Marco, who was feeling comfortable at 1 life with 7 cards in hand, suddenly is given a hand with a ton of 2Ks and maybe only 1 playable card. Ooh. And the Zeus coming out too.
Oh, I wish that 2-cost Nami isn't bonded with leader Nami.
But here we're in a great spot as Marco, right? All you have to do is just play some blockers and just pressure their life.
Yeah. Marco's still in a totally fine spot with his board dominance.
But I am pretty convinced like the play is Nami here.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he's playing around triggers the whole time, but I would like to see him just play the Nami first and see what options you have before. Like, what if this Nami draws into another Nami, right? I would like to know that before I decide to commit Dons into leader.
Oh, throwing away Akuma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kuma has this issue where off of curve he can feel a bit underwhelming when you have other options in your hand. So this could just be an indicator that he has something else that he's prepared to play next turn. But given the fact that he didn't play it last turn, we'll have to see what he actually ends up doing. Still, Nami going pretty low on life this early.
And we are very high on counter for Marco and very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Decides to get. I guess you even can maybe keep the new gate if you want to. Like, you are healthy and you have a lot of counter in hand, but there is not really a threat on board.
Yeah.
But I guess next turn you want to spread your dons and try to pressure as much as possible.
Yeah, I do believe that. I mean, if the new gate comes out, it would have to come down next turn. At that point, it's probably a bit too late or it's overkill. So I think getting rid of the new gate there is correct and just trying to maximize the number of counter you have in your hand since you are still low on life.
Yeah, that's true. And no blocker anymore because Zeus pops the Nami.
Yeah, but it does take your life too.
Yeah, I wonder what the play is here because I felt like the reason why I felt like it wasn't too bad for Nami is because you could push life here and they can't kill you from 2 life with the 7k leader, right? Most likely. But now they can kill you from 1.
Yeah.
So
there is
now
a
I'm
chance
not
that
sure.
Nami may run a couple of counter events, but we'll have to see how she decides to play out this turn. There's still a chance that she can survive with the number of counters she has in her hand thanks to her leader ability, but being very risky.
It's not like the others can swing at the moment, of course.
Yeah.
We do have a blocker.
Another blocker coming onto the field.
Another one?
Logical.
And 7.
Okay.
Oh, and changing the target of the attacks. I wonder if you just commit to going life here to try to close out the game the next turn.
I mean, he got double 2k here, so...
Yeah, basically the same at the moment.
Yeah, he did decide to defend that chopper.
It's rather an awkward position because of the leader ability of Nami, of course. Both.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is awkward for both sides. Marco's not in a position where he can end the game out, but Blue Yellow Nami with her very, very underwhelming board is not going to be in a position to be able to do so either.
I wonder if he's going for the pudding as well.
I think you always try the 9 life, right? Because I think the 9 life here, if it connects, you just swing all leader.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's still safe to do that. I think that would be the correct play. You swing 9 here. If the opponent counters that, they're still down to 3 cards in hand. You can attack once again with leader, not committing as many dong, and then the way that they take that, you could potentially even try to go for game with Chopper if you need to, but I feel like he's not in a spot right now where he needs to rush down the game. Still, this 9 would give a lot of information.
Seems like
I mean, it's clean, right? Because you can always clear the pudding and then play another blocker. Like anything you attack more with basically makes your lethal chance much less, right? I guess 10 is fine as well. 10 is fine
I don't
as
hate
well.
the 10. This does force the opponent to have 2 2Ks plus leader effect to actually be able to defend it.
Because it's 10-12, right? So, what is it?
This would
No, it's
be
more. It's 13 even.
It's
13.
Yeah, it's 13.
Yeah, so it's 10 is more than fine.
There is the Odin. Ooh.
Ooh.
Now,
wait.
now you just
lethal,
go
though?
7. Wait,
But
what?
decides not to go for it.
Interesting.
The opponent cut 1K, 1K. You could even just try hitting 6 there, see how the opponent reacts to it. I do think 7 would be the correct threshold to more guarantee it, but 6 would be the safer play.
It was a 7K leader, right?
Yes.
At the end?
It was a 7K leader, the Nami.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Yeah. So it had to be like 7 or 8. It would have to be like, yeah.
Yeah, in which case, yeah, he wouldn't have enough damage. That's true. So the Nami getting rid of all of these blockers, but not really the board to be able to supplement it. If she can manage to get rid of this one more.
But even if he splits here with Zeus, wait, there's no way, right? Not with 2/2Ks in hand.
No, not with 2/2Ks in hand, especially if the last card is going to be Nojiko and you get back that 1K from Richi. I don't think that Nami would have lethal on this turn.
There's all the bodies are just too small, I would say, to.
Yeah. I don't think there is a way we survive either.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Unfortunately, Nami was in a decent spot in the early game, but the 8-cost Rayleigh, being able to take out 2 bodies on the same turn, really swung the tempo of this game.
8 life.
8 is crazy.
Is he trying to draw a card from the life to find like a Nami blocker? Maybe that's what I'm reading here. So I would just block so to not let them. Oh no, they already drew with Zeus, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the thing is, I don't even think a Nami blocker would protect you in this position. Going for lethal though, trying his best, but unfortunately not going to be enough.
That was a little bit too much.
Okay.
Here is my Rayleigh.
Yeah.
I love that deck. I think honestly, I think the Rayleigh deck. I was very surprised that it was good because I think Rayleigh had the exact opposite effect of Koala had. Yes. Everybody thought Koala was amazing, and everybody thought Rayleigh was bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But in the end, it's just the 4-cost Luffy is really really good, right? And having a deck with all those 0-cost events that are basically 2K counters with an upside. Yeah, I think Rayleigh is also much harder to play than people think into some matchups.
Yeah, it's not very binary at all. Just by nature of these decks that have lots of 1-cost searchers with so many different things that you can do on each turn, it makes the deck very, very complicated to make the correct play every single turn. Yeah.
Okay, so double searcher, we get Observation Haki. That's the search for 3-cost or higher or event card and put it on leader. Yeah. So, the generic idea of this deck is that your events require you to put an active Dawn on leader. So they do cost 0 to play, but they basically cost 1 active Dawn that goes to the leader, right? That's how you need to think about your events. It's like you don't lose a Dawn, but you have to have one active one to activate the card, right? So
yeah.
Um,
But for a deck like Rayleigh that can't use cards that cost 5 cost or higher, it is very easy to meet this condition. So
Oh, we can't hit.
yeah, but this
wait, no, we are slash. We are slash. You.
Wait, are we? Is it full slash?
It's half slash,
Yeah.
but it still works.
Okay.
Yeah. If it contains slash in the Zoro-Sanji, obviously Zoro has swords, although Sanji does kick. Makes it so that it does not work into Buggy.
Oof.
Oh.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, especially against a deck like Rayleigh, where these 1-cost characters are going to become very relevant blockers or attackers. Sorry.
In Magic, we have a say. We used to have a say that reading the card explains the card, and this is the moment here.
Yeah, and actually, if we look at it, aside from that Vanderdecken, all of the cards in Zoro-Sanji's hand are slashed. So if he doesn't find a way to deal with this card, it may be very, very tricky.
Yeah. It's a free 5k every turn, right? With leader effect.
Yeah. And here's the Luffy, which is essentially a 4-cost 6,000 that just plays a 3-cost out. In this case, a 2-cost or a 2k.
One of the events we revealed was the Searcher one, and the other one is basically Diable Jambe. So just we have to remember that right now Rayleigh has an unblockable event in hand, right? So that will come up later in the end of the game, most likely.
Yeah, it'll definitely be relevant. Oof. And if the Zoro-Sanji had the 4-cost Zoro on this turn, he may have been able to try to deal with this 4-cost Luffy, but in a bit of an unfortunate spot now where he can't really deal with the board and is probably going to take a lot of hits next turn.
So what can we do? What can we do? So
the thing is, none of the options here are very great, honestly. I think that
can we fish pop the Buggy and then Mihawk, Arlong, or freeze the leader and then swing 5/5 life? Like it's very expensive hand wise, but it is like the biggest tempo type of play you have. Like it might be something you need to like 5 life, then fish the Buggy and then play 3-cost Mihawk and play a 4-cost. Play the Arlong fish with it.
Yeah, the one thing is though that his hand right now, the one advantage that he does have is that he has a lot of counter. And if he were to play out that Mihawk, if he were to play out that Vanderdecken, he would lose a lot of that counter in his hand. So perhaps the better play for Zoro-Sanji is to just try to hold on for at the very least this turn and see if he can just outrace Red Rayleigh. The unfortunate thing is I don't really know this matchup well enough to say if that could actually be a potential plan. But the only other option would be the one that you said.
I guess the other one is just play Smoker and attack and pass, right? But
you're only at 5 done, right? So starting the
what the problem
now with Rayleigh is a little bit scary.
The problem is if you don't go for the aggressive play here. Oh my god, bro, read the card.
It's okay. I think he's going to just bounce back the Mihawk anyways.
Yeah, but we could have went. Oh no. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I think he's just doing that for fun. Yeah. You hit 6k, you bounce back the Mihawk and resend the Zoro. So this Zoro can attack for 5k again, but the thing with Rayleigh is that because all these events have 2k counter, it is a surprisingly tanky deck.
Also, the reason why I prefer developing this turn is because if you just let them like stay healthy with no pressure on the field, they just activate Sanji every turn. The 2-cost Sanji, because you can't starve them anymore, right? Because of the 2-cost.
Yeah.
Could we have leader affected bounce the Zoro, and then
replay the Zoro,
and then attack the Luffy 4-cost? Was that an possibility?
I think that might not have been bad. Yeah, I think you could definitely do that.
Because you can attack with the Mihawk on it twice, I guess.
Yeah, the one issue, I guess, yeah, hitting with the Mihawk is relevant. The one issue though is that you would have to hit with your leader to actually get the Zoro back into your hands, so you are losing one attack at the very least that would go into Luffy. So I wouldn't guarantee killing Luffy, but that may have been the better choice. Still, this play does develop the board a little bit more, but really going to use the mole gun to get rid of it.
But I think here you see the example. You see what I meant with this slower play. Like you do keep counter in hand, right? But this board looks unbeatable, right? Like we're gonna use Sanji here and go 7 into the Zoro, kill that. Most likely.
It'll be interesting to see if this Rayleigh feels brave enough to use the Sanji. This is one of the advantages of going against one of these lesser known leaders, that you may be a bit afraid to actually use the 2-cost Sanji effect. Yeah, and he doesn't.
Really? No way. Bro, I spunk them with Sanji every time in this kind of situations.
I mean,
his name is not Sanji. It's Spunky. when I play with it.
I'm not an aggro player at heart, so I definitely need to let you commentate on that aspect.
No, but I think you would attack there as well.
Yeah, I think you're definitely in a spot where you're safe to attack there.
Yeah, you have 2 more lives, they only have 2 attackers, and your hand is full of 2k counters, right?
You're not essentially not doing anything, right? So one thing that I noticed is we actually don't have a teach today. Is that normal?
Oh, actually, teach is pretty strong right now. A lot of people are considering it top 3 alongside Green Zoro as well as Blue Purple Luffy. I think it's a little bit overhyped, but I do still think that at least in this OP12 meta with the new start decks, it is one of the better decks. So perhaps maybe people just don't really want to play a kind of uninteractive deck in what's a pretty fun tournament. But honestly, it's still a very strong deck.
Holy shit, this
card. But look at how much you get punished here. Because now they pop your Baggy and they kill your Sanji.
Yeah.
Like here you get maximum punished for not attacking with it.
Yeah, and this Shimotsuki Koala-Zoro actually putting in a lot of work despite it being just a generic 2k counter for the most part.
It's really good. I think that card has been in a lot of games I saw relevant, like tapping a blocker to go for game, like killing searchers. And against this deck is, I tested from a little bit. I played a few games, like maybe 5-6 games from the Rayleigh side against the Green Zoro, and I won all of them. But the games were closer. Were the ones where they played this thing on curve and killed like 2 of the things. You know, like on 3, they tap 1, kill 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, that card is really relevant in this matchup specifically.
Yeah. Wow. That the Koala-Zoro got massive value on that turn. Now Zoro-Sanji almost feeling fine.
Yeah. But it's like, imagine we had 2k and 1k less in hand though.
Yeah.
It's countering
no,
like case.
For sure.
Yeah. But this is where we're gonna find out if this Rayleigh plays Rush Zoros or Rush Jimbes. Because that's also a decision that some people choose to or not. We know he has a Searcher event in hand, so I'm assuming that's what he's gonna start his turn with. Like 1 Dawn on lead, search. Okay, he's gonna buff first.
Yeah, using his lead effect, using the Shakuyaku to attack. Oh, but he's going to search.
Yeah, maybe he find a Rush Zoro here or a Jinbe.
Yeah, people do also run Kid Killer in this deck, maybe even if it's only at a couple of counts, because it is still searchable off of this event.
Yep. Yeah. But what is this? Draw. This is just +1, right?
No, that's the Diablo Jambe event, but not very relevant because we already seen that he does have one already in his hand.
No, the one he played now, it's put a Dawn on leader and then +1.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the card that he searched. Yeah.
We have enough defense.
I mean, all you have to do here is just go all alive, pretty much 0. Like, why are we going 8 here? If they counter this, we lose, right?
He could have a rush character. We'll have to see.
Oh, they took.
He did take the 8. Yeah, but there is the Kid Killer.
Okay.
the one nice thing, I'm not sure if it would actually be correct here, but starting at 8 and threatening the opponent, trying to make them counter out the attack, does make it so that the 7k after would take a bit more, would have a bit more value. But in this situation, it doesn't make a huge difference, as he ended up taking the 8k.
You know what I would like here as the Rayleigh player? We know that we have, what do you call it? The event in hand, right? The Diablo Jambe. So you don't need to commit so much into a play like that because he played basically a 2k counter there, right? The event he played to +1 his leader is basically a 2k counter. And if you die here, it's because you were like greedy going for game this turn. You didn't have to. All you have to do is make sure you're in a position where you don't die, and then you're gonna go 15 with the leader next turn anyway.
That is true. Yeah, you don't even need to play this Kid Killer here.
I would have much preferred him to not put any down on the searcher and just attack only with the Kid Killer and the leader split, and put them at 0. And then next turn you're gonna kill them with a blockable event anyway. Because now there is a world where you lose here, right? Because this Zoro can attack twice.
Yeah.
So like he can go. So okay, so 4 down on leader, right? Then no, because you have to go 7 first with the Zoro, right? Otherwise you can't stand it.
7.
Yeah, so it's always 7 with the Zoro first.
Are there triggers that can punish from the Rayleigh side?
There is Morgan. I think that's about it. That's the only one they play. Morgan is the only one that's combat relevant.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any events.
Sorry?
The Gum Gum King Gong Gatling. Can that punish? That can punish too, right?
I think it KOs a 5,000 power less.
Yeah, that pops at 5,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he does attach the Dongan to Zoro, then it's out of range of that, but still in range of Mulgun.
Yeah. But why is he thinking of attacking the Fan Dagger first here?
But
no, this is not correct.
But if he triggers the Gatling and he pops the 2k, he can't restand anymore, right? Because he doesn't have a card to get back to hand.
No, I understand, but now you're gonna go 7-7 for 7.
Now I think he actually guarantees loses.
I mean, he has 2 more 7s,
2 more
right?
7Ks, yeah.
So it's very likely he's gonna win because the Rayleigh played the. If he does, because the Rayleigh played the 2k, right?
Yeah, if he had held on to that armament haki for a 2k counter, but most certainly not going to be able to lose this game. But does the 7k go through?
Maybe he still has it. He has another. Oh, he has it. He has, because he has another unblockable in hand, and we knew that.
Crazy that these events are also 2ks. Actually, it's really good.
Yeah.
That means that we have. Really a trio.
Well, we can't put past the fact that Koala is 3-0 right now, so we'll have to see how she plays this out. Halsey JP against OPTCG.
Question from the chat. Is Dragon same impact as 8-cost Moria?
I think it's not even remotely close, actually. I think I think the 8-cost Dragon is probably 3 tiers lower on power level than Moria was. Like from 1 to 10, if Moria was like a 9.5 to 10 card, Dragon is probably like a 8, like a 7-8. That's what that would be my first intuition.
I think that Dragon is a very powerful card. The one issue with the card is that you are required to run many revolutionaries in your deck, and I really don't like these cards where you're forced to put weak cards into your deck just to make your strong card actually function. So given the correct support, perhaps this card could become a bit better, because obviously playing a 6-cost is better than playing a 4-cost, but the versatility of Moria, I think, is unmatched.
Yeah.
I honestly think if Ice Age and 8-cost Moria were still a thing, that Lucci would have been on top of the tiers right now. But I guess everyone, or a lot of people, would agree, because the matchup against like UP and stuff with Ice Age would have been a lot better. Especially if you can do like Ice Age, Moria, Rebecca, Helmeppo, into Spandim, Lucci, and KO like a 9 cost and something else. Having a 9k body and a blocker up.
Is there a reason why we're not searching here? And we're leaving the dawn open? Is it for the counter event?
I think it is.
I mean, that counter event, I don't remember what the subtext is to get the plus 4k. But does it become 4k right now?
You know why I don't like the playing the 3 cost here? Is because you're playing right into this turn.
Yeah.
Right?
The event says
Yeah.
up to one of
especially
your leaders...
maybe for people... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The event says if up to one of your leaders gains plus 2000, then if you have a revolutionary army type character with a cost of 8 or more, that card gains an additional plus 2000.
Yeah, so I would have much rather seen him like search and like or just play something like that you can actually defend, because just playing the 3 cost into the 5 cost Tashigi turn is brutal, right? Like now we used 2 cards to counter the leader swing and we lost the character. So
yeah, one thing that people need to know with Green Zoro, because he's given so many searches at the very start of his inception in this 1 cost Hyori as well as the 1 cost Perona, it's almost guaranteed that they're going to have Tashigi and if not Kuina on this 5 dong turn. So a lot of times what you do want to do in the matchup, regardless of what deck that you're playing, if you don't have a 4 cost that's going to immediately affect the board in a way that benefits you despite, like, even if it's cleared, you just don't want to play the character and you'd rather just swing face.
For sure. I also think even if they didn't search it, like the upside of like the damage done by them having it and you playing into it is just like way too big, right? Like you have to respect the card. I mean,
yeah, and this
here
Tashigi,
you don't care. You don't care that much because he heals you if he dies, right?
Yeah, but he still does. He still does lose this 6 cost Kuma. Unfortunately, the Tashigi, for some reason, affecting base cost and not current cost, means that the plus 2 cost from Kuma doesn't actually matter, making it very tricky for Koala to actually set up her board.
We can sabo pop 1, I guess. It's an expensive pop.
Very expensive.
It is expensive, but it seems like the only play on this turn. I think if you were to play slower through something like the Robin or Kuma, then you just don't have enough board presence to actually be able to fight later on.
I think you throw the Robin here for sure. So one thing to keep in mind here is your blockers are way worse against this leader than they usually are. And like I would much rather keep an extra way of healing than a blocker in hand. So I would have thrown the Robin here over the Kuma for sure. I think with the Sabo. Like even though you have another Kuma, right? Just the card is better in this matchup.
Yeah, no, the Kuma not only healing you 1 on play, but healing you 1 on KO, actually very relevant in this matchup. Definitely a card that you do want to be playing many, many times. But gets the trigger Karase. So although we just talked about blockers not being very relevant, still not bad.
I mean, when you have 2 of them, is more relevant, I guess.
Yeah, you do end up playing into things. Mihawk's crazy, yeah. The issue with having more blockers is that you also play into the opponent's 7 cost Hody, you play into the opponent's Deadman game event. There are many things you do need to worry about, so it's much better than just leaving 1 blocker on the field to play around something like Tashigi or play around something like Kuina, but still nothing that Zoro can't get over.
What would you say is the hardest matchup for Green Zoro?
Rayleigh probably is bad. Blue purple is bad. I mean, but you want like the hardest is probably some meme deck, or do you mean from the known decks?
Yeah, from meta. Or do you think, Guy, that you like from the past weeks of testing with starter decks? Maybe I don't know if it changed some stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to pinpoint. I think that perhaps the worst matchup, at least so far, for like the more relevant decks would maybe be Black Lucci. Not because he can clear your board, because Zoro doesn't actually really need his board to function, but just that Black Lucci has so many small blockers that they do actually eventually become relevant.
I have a question for you here, Kai. Why do you think? Do you like the 7 life and going for live here? Because my first intuition was to attack like 10 into the Mihawk, so that I force the 2-cost blocker, and then if they block, then I can either attack the Tashigi or something else with the leader. But like we went 7 life and they got the free block.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the way that Koala at least seems to want to play out the game is to just develop her board very quickly via things like the Cost Dragon, via things like this 6-cost Robin, 6-cost Kuma, for example. And because her leader effect, she only gets to draw when she hits life, she feels very incentivized to do so. It's one of the awkward things about Koala, and something that I don't really like, is that you really want to be hitting the opponent's leader with your leader every single turn if you can. But still, in this situation, in a normal game of the One Piece card game, it would have definitely been better to go for characters there.
No, but even with the leader, isn't it still better to attack with the Sabo first?
Oh, attack with the Sabo first. I would agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because it makes it much harder to block with the Mihawk. But yeah,
are throwing away all the Kumas this matchup, it seems.
Yeah, he is very low.
It.
At the very least, though, he can grab it back with the 8-cost Dragon that he has in his hand now. But still, that would make him go very, very low on cards in his hand.
I guess let me teach you some terms we have here in the stream. By the way, we say when you attack live, we say smork when you go like very aggro.
Yeah.
Okay. And when somebody plays too defensive, we call them a turtle.
Okay. So yeah, I can understand.
Yes, there you go. So just so you know, or I guess I should say I'm the one that's the naughty one here. I'm the one that's calling them a turtle. But like when you have like an almost guaranteed game and then you go for like a super defensive play, I tend to call people turtles. So yeah.
I'm the kind guy of us two.
Yeah.
Yeah. This 11k attack is actually very annoying for the Koala because the Sabo is 8 cost. It means that he can actually hit into it twice with his leader. So even if he blocks it, assuming that he doesn't use his leader effect again, which I don't think he has yet, he can just hit into that Sabo once again.
Yep, he didn't.
Yeah.
So he can still
I think
swing.
if you block with Robin even, you wait,
why did we use
we didn't need to do this.
Wait, now now he wants to go for game? No, that's not possible even. Well, it is possible, I guess.
He can still attack twice with his leader because he hasn't used the activate mini yet.
It is possible to go for game here, but because now it's 10, 11, 11 live.
Yeah. I mean, he does actually have it if he goes for it, I believe.
Yeah.
And
wow, this is very aggressive. But identifying that even if this doesn't succeed on this turn, there's no way that Koala can kill him on the next turn.
Yeah. This is what we say is Mork, by the way. This is the opposite of turtle. This is the opposite of turtle. I love to see this. I like this. Well, I mean, the attack on the character always.
Whoa.
that's
Why does this deck run 0-cost event?
Hey, we can take this and we can hit with the dragon, right? Damn, dude. There is another swing after this one, right? So you take this one, and then you decide whether you're gonna block on the next one. Always. No, because
now he's swinging Sabo.
He's gonna
now they can kill your Sabo now. No.
He doesn't do it.
Whoa. This game is just a roller coaster of emotions, you know.
Yeah. Still, though, Koala not in a spot where she can realistically fight back in this game. But given the opportunity now that this Sabo has stayed on the board.
Dragon can get back Akuma, right?
Yes.
So in a world Roronoa doesn't have any counters, and we can kill Mihawk and Cavendish and heal one with Dragon. And yo, Nico Leo, thanks for the sub.
But I think you have to go 9 into 8 first, right? Because then you can still go 7 with leader, so that if they have 1k counter, you still kill both. Like you can go like 9 into 8 and 7 into 6, right? Because I think if you do this, you never survive. Right? Like I would rather risk them have no counter, and then I actually give myself a good chance to survive, than do this and just be dead on board, right? So I think the play was 9 into 8, 7 into 6, and Dragon play Kuma heal 1, and just hope that the way they split, you can survive somehow.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only way that you can survive. Unfortunately,
Because now he's gonna go 7 on 7, right? Now he's gonna go 7 on 7. Oh no, he's gonna draw, I guess. Okay, they had a 2k, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In this
but
case.
still, playing to your outs there. If, for example, the Green Zoro didn't have 2k counter in total in his hand, then he could wipe out 2 cards, and then potentially the last life could have been enough to survive. But yeah, in the situation, kind of playing a little bit of both, and not quite getting the better of both, getting better of either, I would say.
In some worlds, we have 0 cost events again.
One is not enough.
Oh!
Nah, it doesn't matter because the leader can restand.
Yeah, you just slam all your dong on your leader, and that blocker basically just doesn't exist.
It's exactly like Hawkins from the early stages of the game. That's what I that's what I tell people. It's like basically the first attack, if you block, you can leader effect and attack again, right? So
the triggers gave Koala a little bit of a dream. We actually saw 3 triggers onto the board, but not going to be enough in this matchup.
Yeah, and one was actually game changing.
Yeah,
but I think if Zoro swung the Sabo there, he would have won no matter what always.
Yep.
And now there was like a tiny chance.
Yeah, I agree.
By the way, Epster is 3-1. Imagine he was on time and did play his round 1.
Wow.
So his only loss is the game loss? That's funny.
Wait, you don't got a character here.
Oh, he's swinging face?
I think, yeah, you should just swing face here so you force the opponent to block so that you basically just get the 2 swings at face. But by swinging into the Sabo, if you 2k this, then the opponent can actually just block out the next attack. In this case, it doesn't actually end up mattering, but you do get more damage if you just hit face, I think.
Wait, no, we just let the Sabo die, right? Then we block the next swing and counter like triple 2k the next one, and you actually survive, right?
You would. Yeah. If you had the triple 2k, then you would survive.
Yeah, so this attack is actually really bad.
Yeah, a lot of people, they see Green Zoro's leader effect, they think that they should be hitting into a character twice, but a lot of the times the better thing is to just hit into life to force the opponent to use a blocker.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have 32Ks here. He doesn't have 32Ks here, but this is a guaranteed lethal situation, right? If you just put all Don on lead and a swing life, you win. So, yeah. You don't even need to put all of them. 6 is... Oh, I guess they have an event open. So they could have a +4, so you should always put all Don and just guarantee it.
Maybe he has the event.
The 3 Dong sending probably... Yeah, it probably is the resend leader event, but either way, it doesn't make a huge difference here. If he just swung face, it would have been much cleaner.
Oh, probably it is. No, it's not.
Yeah. Oh, it's not. Yeah. So actually, a bit of a dangerous situation. He almost could have survived that.
+4 event, +2k. Yeah, me too. I'm a default sim person too.
Here we go.
The Rod Father. Yeah. Oh, Bonney. Yeah, not only does it have the SC buffs, but it also does get a couple of buffs in OP12 through the cost Mihawk and the 5-cost Bonney. So
I'll be right back.
I think
with
that-
you guys in this game.
Yeah, that Bonney 5-cost looks so nice. Like both art-wise and effect-wise. I think it's a really cool card.
yeah, and a lot of people were underrating it since they were comparing it to the 5-cost Nami, which honestly, very, very powerful card in blue. But still, just being a 4-cost 6,000 essentially blocker with the same effect as Queen has been very instrumental to both of the decks that are on screen right now.
Yeah, I also think for Red Green Law, I'm really interested in testing it. Because like it sets up for some turns where you can play it on 6 and still leader effect.
Yeah,
And that's really powerful, you know, like a Cavendish, like a kind of a Cavendish, let's say.
yeah, for sure. Okay. I think start of OP7, when Bonney first came out, I was a very big Bonney player, but I have not touched this deck in probably about a year at this point. So nice to see a lot of new cards in the deck, but playing against Bonney is a bit annoying. So what do you guys feel about the Bonney deck?
I don't know. I feel like every format Bonney is in a similar situation. I think Bonney is very strong. Like the baseline of Bonney is very powerful, I think. But the deck has the same issue every time, that I feel like every deck I play, I always beat Bonney. I don't know why, but I feel like, to me, Bonney is maybe not as much as an L, but it's a little bit of a skill check, as like there is specific play patterns on the way you play against Bonney. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those decks which is very hard for me to evaluate, you know, because it's powerful, but it doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Maybe unique is not the way. Like, you have some very good play patterns, right? Like when you curve Cavendish into Hody, into something like another Hody or something, you know, like the deck is very strong. But I feel like it's very one-dimensional in a way, where if your deck beats Bonney, it beats it very often.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I don't know, and I feel like the blue-purple matchup cannot be good, right? Like people saying just put some 9-cost Zoros in the deck and then you beat them. I don't know. I feel like if Bonney becomes popular, then blue purple can just tech differently to have answers to the Zoros.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a bad matchup for UP, Bonney?
No, it's a good matchup for blue purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, even if they do, like, the thing is, even if they play 9-cost Zoro, a lot of the times they can't just slam off their dong on it and hit you, because you will be able to either counter out the last attack or survive just enough that you eventually make your board insurmountable. So even if Bonney plays the 9-cost Zoro, it still needs a couple of turns to actually get in enough hits that it starts to become relevant. And Blue Purple Luffy with his board that not only comes onto the board faster but is bigger thanks to the 9-cost Sanji, makes so that the Bonney's leader effect doesn't actually do too much in the grand scheme of things. So over the course of maybe like 10-15 turns, eventually Blue Purple Luffy wins out the game, despite the opponent playing out the 9-cost Zoro. And, you know, things like Red Rock just make that even worse.
Yeah. I also think this matchup was supposed to be like close. It's a close matchup, I think. But if Bonney cuts the 8-cost kid for Mihawk, I think the matchup gets a lot worse for Bonney. Because like 8-cost kid is the best way to counter, like maybe not counter, but it's your best way to beat this deck, right? Because they don't have a way to interact with it. Law, I mean. But
yeah.
I would be very surprised if they still play Kid while playing 9-cost Shanks and Mihawk and Hody. So I would assume this list doesn't have Kid.
Yeah, this is part of the reason why I stopped playing Bonney.
8-cost Kid is like the best boss monster for Bonney.
I know. I don't know. But I mean, Mihawk is powerful tempo card, right? Like Mihawk is a better tempo card. Let's say.
Yes, but
Kid is just, I don't know if I think feel like this Bonney deck
since OP01 for a lot of decks.
Like look at how many cards Law has in hand now.
Yeah, but still though, 8 cost Kid on this turn. Even though you could play, you can't actually attach the Dong. Or, oh no, you have Cavendish, so you can.
Yeah.
No, that's a mute point. Never mind. But I guess we could make the argument that this Mihawk with the Cavendish on the board resending up to 6 Dong, not including the Hawkins that's going to resend Dong at the end of the turn, does give Bonnie a lot of Dong to play with, so she will be able to play the 5 cost Bonnie as well on this turn.
Really good.
Yeah, but even this play, right? It's worse than just playing a Kid. Like even Mihawk plus Bonnie, it's still worse than just playing a Kid. But it's a little bit matchup dependent. Just a little bit matchup dependent, right?
Also, talking about matchups and talking about UP, because now I can ask it, the only matchup that I really can't figure out, because I think Bonnie is favored for UP, but the only matchup that I really can't figure out is the Teach matchup. I think that one is I'm really struggling with that one. And I just also saw Lexinator in the chat thanking Guy for the UP guide as well. Crazy value. And I know that Lexinator and I have the same question about that matchup, so I'm going for it. What should we do? How do you approach that matchup, Kai?
Sorry, we're talking about the Teach matchup?
Yes, Teach, US UP against Teach, indeed. We are getting a little bit off-road of this game, but that's a question that I got quite a lot, but I honestly don't have the answer at.
Yeah, so the thing with Teach now is that you could kind of prey on the fact that Teach just needs to draw into a lot of his answers, particularly the 7 cost Jack, but because it's searchable, you generally need to hit them, and that does make it a bit scary, but the best way to really play against Teach, aside from just playing the game out in a very aggressive manner, is to tech for it in deck building, and the best cards to do that are going to be the 7 cost Gravity Blade or the 8 cost 8 cost Secret Rare Luffy. Oh, yeah. These sorts of cards help you sort of push forward your aggressive agenda and keep his board under control. So if you struggle with the matchup, you can tech those cards in, and it'll make it a lot easier for you.
But you do
I don't think it's that bad. It's not that bad, right? Like, I don't think that matchup is that bad.
It's not a terrible matchup, but it is just very annoying to play because you can't play a normal game.
Yeah, you can't do your broken things. I know. You can do your Sanji Big Palm, very, very balanced gameplay. But yeah, I mean, I think the 8 cost Luffy is the best tech card, right? But I think Gravity Blade is the best card that's generically good. That's also good into Teach.
Yeah, I think before you put the 8 cost Rush Luffy, you'd rather put in the Gravity Blades, just because not only is it very good into Teach, being able to bottom, for example, 2 Van Augers, you could even bounce or bottom the 4 cost Burgess, but it also is very good into things like Bella Betty. It's very good into things like, if we're looking at the OP12 format, Red Rayleigh and Green Zoro, when they start to play a bunch of their 5 cost 7,000s to the board, it's generally a very good card. So currently, at least in my OP12 list, I am running 2.
Yeah, and I did saw that Guan was also now on 2 Red Rock and 2 Gravity Blade as well.
Yeah, I mean, he is the best in the world, so I can't say anything, but I do feel like that's a bit overkill.
And an update, by the way, the first 2 4-1s are the green-blue Sanji and Rayleigh. So, depending on their tiebreakers, of course, they will get into our top cuts and a top 4 of only best of 1.
Smork decks on top. I love to see that.
You know, we will see at least an NL trying to beat aggro.
It's okay, don't worry. We don't mind NLs. NL is such a weird deck to me that, like, you just beat it with any deck you play. You know.
Get punished for playing bad.
You know
What do you think of this block? Do you like the block?
So I was looking away for a second.
What do you think of this? We swung 8 into the Cavendish and we blocked with the Bonney.
8 into Cavendish block. Oh, block with the Bonney. That's
Yeah. Why do we Why do you value it so much? Why do we value this Cavendish so much, right?
I mean, the Cavendish is just generically helpful. It's staying on the board will open up a lot of options for Bonney, but it is just a bit risky to, I guess, block that early on. But does manage to keep the Cavendish on the board.
We use so much counter to protect it, though, like so much.
Yeah, but I guess one benefit though now is that you can play the Shanks as well as the 2-cost killer on this turn.
Then it's exactly right, because you get the Dawn back with Hawkins.
Yep.
But then the 5 has to go live, I guess. So then if that's the case, then you always start 5 life with leader, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think regardless, you probably start 5 life here just because the opponent's at 2 life now. They're most likely going to counter it anyways. So even if you had the Dong to go up to 6 and hit into the characters, you're still only getting that 1k value. So you'd rather just hit into life to get that value for a bit cheaper. Yeah. The Green Yellow absolutely has to counter out that attack here.
Interesting.
Does this Hawkins need to be rested? I don't know exactly how these new cards exactly work.
I think he's counting to 8 Dawn for the Bonney. Because the Bonney 5 cost requires 8 rested Dawns.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And Green Zoro is a third deck that is 4-1. So it's not our 4-0 match.
We're seeing a lot of these, I should say, tier 2 decks that are making it into the top cut. So nothing too crazy so far, like the sugar that we saw apparently in round 1, but decks that you maybe expect to see in top cut. Just we're missing one of the big bad decks in Blue Purple Luffy.
What do you think of this Dawn on the Kid Killer?
I mean, I think he can afford to, right? So it doesn't seem bad to me. Where else would you put it?
Hoddy, I would just not.
I'm surprised that this turn wasn't 9-cost Shanks blocker.
Would I prefer to play around Hoddy a little bit at least this turn?
I guess that's true. Well, it seems like the Law doesn't have Hoddy though with the way that he's playing out this current turn.
Yeah. So I feel like there you made it too easy, right? You made it too easy for them to just tap the Dawn and the killer. Just go for game.
Yeah. Law here, 2 more attacks minimum with 8 Dong standing would become 9 and 10. And I believe, oh yeah, I mean, Bonney does have enough counter to defend it, though it would be a bit messy.
But I do feel like here as Bonney, you take the live for sure if they go live. Like my game plan here as Bonney is how I feel about this game is I wanna protect everything on board this turn, and then next turn play Hoddy and kill them.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Green Yellow Law isn't a deck that has something like Diablo Jambe that can really surprise you with damage aside from Hoddy. So just making sure that your board is strong enough and playing as best as you can around Hoddy is going to be important. Still though, I mean, we do have information currently that likely Law doesn't have Hoddy in their hand, so maybe something you don't even need to play around.
And Marco is our 5-0 deck of Swiss.
Okay, I mean, that is pretty crazy though, I will admit.
Hey. Marco, if you like control decks, Marco is perfect for you.
You don't know the amount of hype that I got yesterday when I saw the 4-cost Marco blocker on KO draw 2 cards. which you can
dude,
play
that
with.
card's crazy.
With 5-cost Ace, you can play it out for free. Oh,
that's actually so nice. Yeah, and we could even say blue Nami buffs because it's just generic draw 2 as a blocker. You could say that it's blue yellow Nami buffs.
Also blue Nami.
Yeah, both of the Namis seem to be buffed by that card. It's just such a powerful card on its own. I think a lot of blue decks are going to end up using that.
Yeah. No 2Ks left.
I like this comment in the chat. You PVS teach is starve, lol. As if there's like one way to play one matchup only. As like people can't have like their own ways of playing a matchup, right? But with everything like that, it all comes down to tech decisions and like tech choices, right? Like there's no way if you play 8-cost Luffys, you starve them. There's just no way, right? Because if you play that card, you just aggro them down and kill them. So like no matter what you decide to do, is just have a game plan based on your deck list, and that works the best in almost every situation.
Yeah, and I guess giving some insight into, I brought a Blue Pro Luffy to my flagship today, the reason why I was a bit late. And my deck currently runs 3 of the 8-cost Luffy and 2 of the 9-cost Luffy and 0 8-cost Katakuri. So just from a deck building perspective, you can change completely how the deck wants to function, changing it from a very defensive deck to a very aggressive deck. I think most of my games ended like within 15 minutes. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always just ramp and just play a big rush thing and kill them fast, right? Like the game plan doesn't always have to be to heal for turns in a row.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you actually are actively hurting yourself by playing extremely defensively with Blue Purple Luffy because you're giving the opponent time. Although Blue Purple Luffy does scale very well with time, gives the opponent the opportunity to find things. For example, if fighting a green deck, finding things like Hody, finding things like Dead Man's Game. If you're against, for example, Green Purple Luffy, the Seeker or Luffy, you give the opponent opportunities to find their way back into the game. And a lot of times Blue Purple Luffy doesn't really need to let the game go on long enough for that to actually be a factor.
I just want to say one thing about this game is that's exactly what you don't want to do as Green Yellow Law. Because what we did here is this turn is we went aggressive and then we took our last life and we played straight up into Hody. Like we passed with exactly 2 blockers up, no Dawn and nothing. So I think he would have better been off just attacking 2-3 times big and pass with the blocker loss active. So he has 3 or 4 blockers, and then aim to kill them next turn in case you draw a Hody or something. Because this basically just kept you dead to Hody at all times, right? So
this is like worst case scenario for Epster. Woke up late, starting 0-1, have to go 4-1, goes 3-1, and then losing the last one. He could have stayed in bed.
What was the matchup?
Let me check. I can't see his matchups, I think. Here we go. So he lost round 1 because he wasn't there. So he lost against Calgara. And then he won. I can't see the leaders. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Fun.
Tips and stuff. Or
flagships are another thing, but flagships you apply the month before and you'll know pretty early on in the month if you get in for the next month. So for applying for flagships, you do need to change your region to Japan, and you have to register your face for like face identification just to make sure that you don't have multiple accounts and whatnot. And but once you do that and you sign up for flagships, assuming that you can get through the lottery, you can go. So
okay, that's cool. No, because I want to come to Japan at some point for like a trip, and I'm thinking if I do that, then it would be cool to combine it with like playing,
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, Marco versus Zoro.
Ooh, okay, so we have 3-cost chopper and event. So this seems like a very similar game. This time we hit. That was a difference with the previous game.
Yeah.
Right, that the chopper missed.
Yeah. This Marco, though, doesn't run too many animals in general, so maybe not actually too disappointed, but curious to see why he's running this animal package over the sort of standard Marco package. I mean, it clearly is working, but...
Mhm.
Oof. And the second chopper with another one in hand.
Yep, that's and
the nice thing with this list, he can flip between this aggressive and defensive mode very easily too.
Mm-hmm. And he still has the very strong top end of Marco, like with Rayleigh, 7 cost Newgate and Sanji. And his early game is giving him more time because of the animals.
I think the big difference in this game you see is that there is no 5 cost, right? Like this 4 cost is in like so much less tempo than the 5 cost Tashigi.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if this turn we had a 7k in play instead of that thing that just died to the deck, this game would look a lot better for Zoro. But I'm inclined to say that Marco looks like super ahead. Like this game looks really good for Marco now.
Yeah, no, Marco in a very good spot. His hand also just setting him up for success for basically the rest of the game.
I mean, you don't even have to play Nami here, right? You could easily go 3-cost chopper, Richie, leader effect. Like, well, yeah. So you could even go fully wide.
Yeah, I think playing wide probably would be the correct option because Nanami would play into the opponent's 5-cost Sashiki.
This chat conversation is just funny to me. No, your favorite. I mean, now actually, I like not playing the Nami. Now that you hit the event, I actually don't mind just playing a chopper, another 3-cost chopper, and after they kill your board and they swing life, then you can event. Because you're gonna be if you do hit, right? So
yeah.
Ooh, Bottomy Molgan here is interesting. I think he agrees too. He's gonna go 6, play something, then 6 again, then play chopper, play another thing, and then now you have 5 things in play, and you still have event open.
Yeah, very good tempo play from Marco, but I mean, seems kind of like a bit of a high roll, just finding all of these 3-cost choppers early on, but going to set him up for a very good spot against the Screen Zoro early on.
And Zoro not having the 5-cost, right?
Yeah,
because that also matters. It's I don't like the. I'm not a fan of this play actually. I would rather just see the Richie rested, right? Because then you're forcing them to attack to the Richie, and you do keep another blocker in hand. So it works like a pseudo because you have double blocker in play now, right? So either way, they want to clear both.
Yeah, but they can't. That's true.
Yeah, I would have much rather keep the Richie in play just to have it later, and then get the Richie from the search as rested this turn.
Yeah, once again, people kind of overvaluing blockers against Green Zoro, but still, though, Marco in a pretty good spot.
Going really wide.
Oh, finds the Tashigi, but this is kind of the scenario that we were just talking about, where the Richie and all the other choppers are rested. He can only choose to attack into one. He's likely just going to attack into the chopper. I mean, you could make an argument for Richie with how full his board is, but we'll see what he ends up doing.
It's tough. It's a tough decision here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it has to be the 5k chopper. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's the reduction chopper, because that's the most flexible one. I think it might just be the 4k like blocker chopper.
As long as if there is no net with the 4k blocker chopper, it's not super dangerous at the moment. Because they can't combine it with like either Beckman, Newgate, or Rayleigh. So I wouldn't mind swinging this turn on the 5k. Ooh, there is a blocker.
That's blocker for days. And now you block for sure, right?
Wait, Zoro can't use his leader effect.
Oh, he can't because the character died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the attack didn't connect. Crazy.
Wait,
Yeah.
working like that?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, so because you need the attack to complete for you to actually fulfill Zoro's leader effect, but by removing the character that would have been the target for the attack and replacing it with, in this example, Richie, now he can't meet the condition of attacking into. He needs to attack into. He needs to complete a battle with the character.
Let me just tell them.
Yeah, I texted Noah to be sure that he understands.
Yeah. Let's so they don't start thinking it's like a mistake or something.
Yeah, no, this is working as intended.
Yeah, I agree. I also think it makes sense to work like that, right? Because the attack didn't actually happen. You didn't attack into a character. You attacked into basically nothing, right?
Yeah, no, the attack never finished, so you just never were able to. Yeah, because Zoro's effect, you need the 3 don't leader, but you also need to complete a entire combat with a character, and because the combat phase wasn't completed, not able to use his leader effect.
Oof, that's really rough. So
yeah, and actually, this is a card that people have been taking into blue decks to deal with Zoro. Is what's it called?
What does it do? If you say what it does, maybe I know what is the name.
1 cost plus 4,000, bounce a 2 cost or higher to your hand. Hancock event.
You mean overheat?
No, not overheat.
Snake Dance, I think, right?
Snake Dance.
Yeah.
I think. Oh no, Slave Arrow. Yeah, it's Snake Dance is a similar
Slave
effect.
Arrow,
Yeah. Slave
Arrow, it's the 1
because
cost. You mean it's the 1 cost? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 1 cost plus 4,000 and bounce a 2 cost or higher to your hand. So what you could do against Zoro is to just, although you do kind of, you don't really get the value out of the plus 4,000. You just bounce the character that they're hitting into, so that they can't resolve the entire combat, so they can't use their leader effect.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's one of the ways that Blue Buggy has been sort of dealing with this matchup, which has been very difficult in OP12 so far.
Wait, so Blue Buggy is playing Slave Arrow?
I've seen some people, you run Slave Arrow so that, like, they rest your character, they hit into it, but you just bounce the character back to your hand. So then, although you don't get the character to stay on board, you still get it back to your hand. You just replay it through something like the 8-cost Crocodile and Mihawk, for example, and the opponent doesn't get to get the extra attack into your leader.
It's really good if the attack is more than 9k as well, right? Because then it counters the leader hit basically for 4k, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we see Mihawk here. We just use our blockers because we need space anyway. Right, like that last turn was a little bit awkward space-wise. No, this is just a radical beam trigger.
Yeah, classic red trigger.
So Sanji really seems like he is going for.
Yeah.
But we can't pop because of the 2 cost, right? Oh wait, we can't.
The 2 cost only defends 5 costs or less. 5 costs or less.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
You are right.
Yeah. Likely he's guaranteed killing the Mihawk, but potentially going to get a lot of counter out of Zoro's hand here.
The thing that I see here, I find it very difficult for to see how Zoro will survive the turn after this one. Because like there are 1 life. Yeah, we have so much pressure in play.
Yeah. And we also healthy in hands and counter as well. 2 blockers, 2 life.
Mm. Yeah, somehow he's just playing blue purple Luffy with animals. Because next turn, at least given his current hand, he can just play the 5-cost Nami, leave a bunch of Dong up to play around the opponent's Hody, and use the event that's in his hand, and just really start to lock down the board with the 2 characters he's also able to play with the 9-cost Sanji.
Marco was him all along. So looking at Noah's hand, he doesn't really have something to get. He decides to go for the new 1-cost event.
New 1-cost event?
This is a Dead Man's game, I would imagine.
I don't know.
The one that rests 2 characters of Dons?
Yeah,
or
I think so.
The
There is
Bandai-
another
+3,
1-cost event. Yeah, +3 only to leader.
Yeah, that's the rest, the 3 cost of yours and a 5 cost of theirs, right? That one.
And he is playing the event card. I will become the Pirate King.
Yeah, that card is a troll. Don't play that card, chat. I know people tell you to play that card and buy it for $15. Don't do it.
Was the day,
that card is...
no joke,
Nah.
the day before Noah posted that card on his Twitter, it was like 15 cents. Now it's like 6 to 7 euros at card market. That's
Yikes.
I don't know. That card is so specific.
Mhm.
I mean, it would give him a lot of power on this specific turn, but
I mean, it's just +2, right? Like Demonic Aura is still better here. It's like +3. It's like +1 of your Don value, let's say, and you rest the thing as well. So I don't know. I have such a hard time finding that card being good in the spots because it's +4 now, right? So it's +2 of the Don value you get because you just get +2 when you just put 2 Don, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any other impact. Like I would rather just play an event that also does something else. Like Demonic is +3, which is less, but it also rests something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the thing with Green Zoro especially is that a lot of the cards in the deck generally don't have counters, so you really want to be careful with the cards that with the counterless cards that you add to the deck. So even if you do put in the Dead Man's Game Hody event, you do only end up putting it at something like 2 copies. Same thing with things like what's it called? Luna. So putting in these other events that can sometimes be a bit placebo, maybe not always the best play, but I mean, still he was able to make top cut. It is definitely a card that can catch the opponent off guard.
Yeah, and it's really good if you're very ahead, right? Like board wise. But it's a kind of card that does nothing when you're behind. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And Green Zoro deck that doesn't really have the tools to cycle through his hand. If you do end up drawing that later on, it will kind of get stuck there.
Well, because of his Mihawk is gone, his hand got a lot worse. He is playing one Spiderweb. Spiderweb? Something.
Spiderweb. Okay, so over Paradise Waterfall he plays that.
Yes, it is. It's
Interesting.
Spider's Web.
It's the 2 cost basically Paradise Waterfall. So one is +2 and it's 1 cost, and the other one is +4 and it's 2 cost.
Yes, although I think
I wonder.
Paradise has a way better trigger.
Yeah, Paradise is a much better card, I think, because it's much easier to leave 1 Don open than 2.
Yeah. I wonder if he's using Spider's Web on top of running 4 Paradise Waterfalls, or if he is choosing to run that instead of some of the waterfalls.
I think he's not playing any waterfalls.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think you generally need to pump your leader up that high, especially since you're usually using it to restand your Mihawk blocker. But
I mean, maybe he does play a few. I don't know. But the way the games we saw, we didn't see any. So I would assume he's not playing any. If he played 4, we would see at least 1 by like
Probably,
3-4
yeah.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this looks, because we are like never dead, like never ever this turn, and I
Especially
don't
because
think
of
there
the
is a way
event.
they can survive. Yeah, and no way they survive the turn after this one, right?
And the winner of this matchup is
Yeah.
going to play against Rayleigh. Rayleigh won.
Ooh. Imagine having one Rayleigh and he making it to the final.
Well, it's the right hand
Hey,
of
just
the
saying.
Pirate King, so
Just saying.
I mean, unfortunately, that does mean that Zoro-Sanji is out.
yes.
But I mean, and Zoro and Sanji are the right and left hands of the probably soon to be Pirate King. So
That's it. He's not pirating yet, you know.
yeah, he's not Pirate King yet. So really does still kind of diff him there.
Maybe in like 15 years.
I think it's interesting, maybe just to ask as a question, but Rayleigh really popped up heavily at the start of the Japanese meta, or like I think for a while, and I feel like it's fallen off a bit more now. Do you have like an idea why that is, or is it just like playstyle dependent, area dependent?
I think the thing is that it was still pretty prominent in the last championship right before the start decks dropped, and it may just be people kind of overcorrecting, kind of being a bit too afraid of things like Buggy coming into the meta. I don't actually think that Rayleigh's affected that much in terms of its place in the meta. I think it's just as people are getting used to the start decks, people don't really know what to play. But I can see the play rate of Rayleigh coming back up as people sort of assimilate more into this new meta.
I think Rayleigh is really good. All the games that I played feel close. Even the bad matchups feel like I had influence on it. But like I tested a little bit against Lucci because I was like, okay, what if Lucci comes back and that matchup is really bad? And I think depending on how you play it, you can win those games. So
Wow,
I think Rayleigh has legs.
you are really traumatized by Lucci.
I am for sure. I find them round 1, 2, or 3 of every turnaround tournaments every time, no matter the format. Doesn't matter what deck I play, there is always a Lucci waiting for me. No joke. This is like I sleep at night, and sometimes I get like nightmares of playing Lucci all day. You know.
Back in the day when Red Purple Law was by far the strongest deck in Japan, OP08, I couldn't go a single tournament without hitting at least 3 Red Purple Laws. So that was my nightmare deck. I don't want to see that ever again.
The thing with Lucci is it's like an unpopular deck, right? And then I talked to 10 of my friends I go to tournament with, and none of them played against the Lucci. And somehow my round 1 opponent is a Lucci. It's like, okay, bro. Okay, I think we're going a little bit through the motions here because I feel like we're just gonna go for game.
Yep.
Depending on how many events he has in hand.
He has 2.
But I like the 9. I like the 9 first.
He has the
the
+4, and he has the demonic thingy.
Artist Waterfall?
No,
the demonic doesn't work because that's main only.
Or
do you mean
no.
It's the counter plus 3000.
Yes, oh, yes. You mean the top event? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So he has +4k, +3k, a 2k, Cavendish, and what's she called? You know?
I mean, this is a little bit tricky. The Spider's Web does give him plus 4000 and will restand the Mihawk if he chooses to block it. So Zoro right now is deceptively tanky right now, but this the way that Marco is going to spread out his Dong is going to be very pivotal in this turn.
Does he ever survive? I don't think so, right? If you just go 999. I mean, now you let them block and web the Mihawk, but I guess he doesn't need to do it. I guess it's better. Wait, I don't know. This turn, I understand. This is what I mean when I say turtle. By the way, Kai, is because like the way he attacks now, he's basically planning to attack 9, then 6, and play Nami and pass with 2 events open. Right? Because he's thinking, I can't lose, right? It's like I'm safe no matter what. Well, I think actually if you just swing 9 first with Sanji, right? The way they respond opens up everything. It might just be guaranteed lethal, right?
Yeah.
Depending
And
on
he
what
might
they have
still
in
have it
hand.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably still has it.
Yeah. I think I mean you attach Tudong to Sanji for 11 and then 13, or I mean he has no life actually, so you can just do 12-12, I think. And
I mean, please don't go
unless
6
he
here.
stands.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
he's gonna go for it.
Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
GG's.
I don't know if I could. Yeah, mine is low, and I think second would probably be Rayleigh.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know why, but every time Rayleigh shows up, it's just so badass. You know?
True.
He's just, he's just that old trained man. Like, you never know what's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
The moment that he pops up with Teach and Boa, no spoilers, but that was goosebumps.
That's just aura, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Okay, one last question before we jump into the finals, although it started. Favorite anime character of all time? So not One Piece
fuck,
only.
I need to think about that.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I'll think about it a bit as we're watching this game.
Yeah. Okay, so what did he pick? He picked the 4-cost Luffy, right? Yeah. So we have our Luffy for Rayleigh's side, so we're gonna curve out. It does seem like we're gonna play Richie and leave event open. Let's see if we have like the best play for Rayleigh on 4 is always to play Luffy and the Sanji the Sanji Nami.
And
because you basically play 2 6Ks. Yeah, you play 2 6Ks on this turn, which is amazing, right? But here he needs to think about attacking. I mean, I guess it could be worse, but against these animal kind of decks, because they already played each other, right? These two, maybe not actually.
Yeah. I think I mean, at the start of the match, they did say hello again. So.
Yeah. So then he should know it's an animal deck.
Yeah.
So then you should really consider about not attacking.
Yep. This was their round 5 in the Swiss, where Rayleigh lost against them. Oh no, it was round 4. This was round 4 rematch.
You know, it's really interesting to me that he chooses to use the boa here.
Yeah,
I don't think I mind them attacking there. I don't think I mind them just attacking the boa rather than face. Because they already countered the 5, so they will take the 6. Right? Yeah. But this is the turns where Rayleigh deck is a little bit make or break.
There's a lot of events in hand, that's for sure.
Yeah, but Marco not seeing the 3-cost Searcher Chopper early on like we have seen in his other stream games. A little bit of a slow start in comparison. But still does have 3 blockers on the board, so still going to be comfortable for now, but Rayleigh a deck that can just explode.
To be honest, like Marco is a non-searcher deck. Like the only way they search is they just draw a card with leader. So I would assume it's not the deck that plays it on curve every game like so often.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You do have the 1-cost counter event that searches for it, but not seeing either means that he won't be able to have it this game. But yeah, I mean, but those events on top of also having your leader effect does make it a bit more consistent than some other leaders.
What do we have for 3 here? I wonder.
We have.
Because I would have liked
Rush Zoro, but I guess if this happens, Mulgun is gonna be really. Oh no, we don't have the done for it. Holy shit! I was like.
It's 8 on 6 here, right?
Yeah.
This 8 is always on the Nami.
Oh, it's not.
Wait. Yeah, no. I think you definitely go for the Nami there. I mean, at least it would force a block out of Richie, but he still blocks anyways.
And
yeah, it just goes for the Sanji. A little bit of a
And
slow
this-
turn for Rayleigh, though.
And finally, we
That's
are
what I
at
meant. I think this
Newgate.
turn was very slow for Rayleigh.
Yeah. And actually, this Luffy is 6,000 power on the opponent's turn, so if he wants to KO the Luffy with the Newgate effect, he will need to minus the power of it through the leader effect. Yeah, it does
You swing
so.
into 3 here, right? Not into 4. Oh, he does. I guess he wants to attack. I like this actually, because now he can attack with the Nami 6k into the Sanji and pop the active Sanji.
If he
If
can
they let
for
this
the
go,
full
I mean.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, well, Marco, very good spot in this early game. This 7-cost
But
Newgate's probably going to do a lot of work.
This looks really good for Marco, actually. Like, we will need a lot of rush characters to get out of this.
Yeah. I need to see how this deck does against Blue Purple Luffy.
Actually, I tested that matchup a lot with because of the Marco copium of Lexinator and myself. And Lexinator tried it even more, and it was really favorite or felt favorite for the Marco side at the start. That's what
Interesting.
That was the big reason why we both brought Marco to like a couple of events. Did really well in. The moment that and secrets on the table, guys. So the moment that Blue Purple started to play either Mihawk for Newgate, then it was insta GG, or they starve, then it felt like we are not favored anymore. So either starve or play Mihawk, and then it felt like super hard to come back from as Marco, but before all that, it felt like super good from the Marco side. But it was control Marco, not animal Marco.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
I think
this attack is interesting here. I wonder if you attack here.
It's a bit tricky, but I think Rayleigh is a deck that has too many rush cards in the deck. Yes, he can run the Rush Zoro or the Jinbe or even Kid Killer, but given that Marco's still at 3 life, he is pretty comfortable just resting the blocker, I feel.
I think the only thing I would consider keeping the blocker active is to protect the Newgate from like a mulligan attack.
I think he needs to mulligan this turn because he has it.
Yeah, because now we can go Boa, find mulligan, activate Boa, put 2 down on Nami, leader effect, buff the Nami, becomes a 6k. Then you can the 6k doesn't matter, but you can mulligan and swing into the Newgate, and then the leader kills the chopper. And all of a sudden that's an actual game again. Yeah, that's a Luffy. The problem is if it is a Luffy this turn, you're gonna lose. If you're not gonna address, you had a mulligan. So
he has a mulligan,
here he should have played mulligan for sure. Like this play builds a board that's just gonna die to the Newgate anyway, because your Luffy is basically straight up dead to the Newgate. I think if you want to have a good chance to win this game, this turn should have definitely been mulligan the Newgate, attack into it, make sure it dies, and then go from there. Because you're at 4 life, you're still healthy, you can take some hits. And maybe just hope they don't have something big in hand. And as we can see, they don't actually.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could go 6 into Chopper here, but the problem here is that there's only 8 left for the Newgate, right? So this turn would need to be like 6 into Chopper, 8 into Nami, and pass. And I guess that's acceptable. That's okay. But I think he's going to go just 7-7 phase. And the problem with this play is it makes their blockers so good. Because now they're just going to clear the board, play another blocker. Ooh.
Like very aggressive play.
Very aggressive for like there are 2 blockers on the board. That's the
yeah.
If you put them at 0, I get it, right? Because then you have the Able Jambe. But that's not the case, right?
We see actually a hand that won't get beat down. There's like only 2Ks blockers and events.
Yeah, this event especially, you can target the same character that's in the combat right now, so it's basically a 2 cost plus 5,000 event. So he does actually have enough counter to be able to survive a 15,000 later, even if he was at 0 life.
Get punished for playing bad.
Ooh. And now with the chopper active, he can't go for that mole pistol play that we were talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why that was your chance, right? Because the Marco attacked with the chopper, that was your only chance to kill the new gate. Now he's gonna go double event, I'm guessing. Like event, attack unblockable, and then event, attack unblockable. But of course we can see he has enough counter in hand to counter this one, right? So
yeah.
I think you even I do think you have to counter this one though. Just to make sure you don't randomly die to like the multiple of the other event. The one that's 2 give +3, then +1 if they have a 7k. I don't know what it's called.
King Kong Gatling.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, because if they have 2 of that plus the event, then they have ways of getting out of range of how much counter you have. So better safe than sorry, I think.
That is true. Yeah, and if Marco on this next turn can clear the board, then it would be up to Rayleigh to not only find a rush character and Marco to misplay, but him to also have the unblockable event. So Marco right now just very, very comfortable.
He does have it all though. Except for the misplay from Marco. The Rayleigh has a rush character, he has the unblockable in hand, so he has quite some cards. But
I mean, if you get one of the choppers here with the Nami, it's not the end of the world. I would just suggest not using the boa here. Like I know he thinks that the best place to attack like that, but if you use the boa here and you stay with one character only, right? That they are gonna pop with Newgate. Like now your reach is this event is insane.
Wow. Yeah.
He wasn't playing this event in all his previous builds. So this is the guy, also guy that is always playing Marco in the cups.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I've seen Marco win a couple of times. So
now he just attacks the Nami and pops the other one, right? And just plays the chopper blocker. Oh, he's gonna go face. Okay, I like that. I think that's fine too.
Like that.
No, but that's good. That's good. I'll give you that one. But I think that the way that with this handful of counter, like the one cost don't really matter. Like I just expected, knowing how he plays, that he was just gonna always clear and play as safe as possible. But realistically, I think just leave 5 down and then just attack with the rest, and it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah. Marco pretty comfortable here with the 1 life and all of the counter in his hand. Doesn't really need to go for the board, as you say.
Yeah. Look, he even leaves like 2 extra dawn, or no, he's gonna attack with the Nami, I guess. I was gonna say he leaves 2 extra dawn open in case the last life is another 2-cost event.
Although he doesn't play a third one.
He's gonna attack. Okay. You know, Rick, I appreciate you. This game, you attacked face a lot. I like it.
Yeah, no, very clean game from Marco, playing to his limits. Like he could have went for the much safer play to make sure that he wins out in the next couple of turns, but this makes it so that if Rayleigh doesn't kill him right now, the game is over.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the best play for sure, because you can never die, and now you have lethal for sure, right? So, but that 7-cost Newgate is so strong, man. That 7-cost Newgate is crazy.
Carry this game.
Yeah. But it all comes back to the point where I said about the Mulligan, right? Because this game would look so different because they didn't actually draw a single big card since that moment.
Yeah.
Right. So if we killed that Newgate that turn, they would have nothing big to play from that point. So you can actually take over the game with the value cards.
Yeah. Maybe some misjudgment from Rayleigh, but yeah, in this situation, I mean, he's going to need a miracle. He's going to need something like rush character to face, and Marco accidentally takes it. And I mean, even still, he probably has enough counter in his end. Yeah, he does.
He has infinite. He has infinite counter. What is that? +9.
Yeah, +9 from 3 cards in hand.
But he can almost counter the 15. You know, if the last life is a 2k, he would even be able to counter the 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this card is more broken than Gum Gum Giant, Skepas.
Which card?
The event.
Which card? My brain does not register any card that could be more broken than Gum Giant. You know which card is very similar to Gum Giant? Blast Breath. You know, they both minus Dawn, they both +4. You know, very similar cards.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what about the draw?
I'm being extremely sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah, no, I completely get
that. You know, those two cards is like you and the one she told you not to worry about. This is literally like you could make a meme with those two cards next to each other. You know.
And Rayleigh definitely doesn't have enough defense to survive next turn, so is trying to find a way to push for it. But 2 blockers, 2 Dawn open.
Yep.
We do have a Kid Killer, we do have a Zoro, but
from my experience playing the Rayleigh deck, is the deck is better than going long than you think. Like, don't assume the deck is just like a super aggressive deck that just tries to kill. Because of the events, and you can search them so often, you can go late game more often than most people think. And I do think you take this probably, and you just make them use event and go for life, just so you guarantee you win. I think I'll probably just take this, but it doesn't really matter, right? I think it doesn't matter what he does here. Doesn't matter what he does here.
Nope.
Playing as safe as he can, trying to make sure that there's absolutely no chance that he could lose to some event that he's never heard of. Make sure that the Rayleigh has no chance of having lethal.
Nope. We can attack
we just
2
don't
times
have enough Dawn.
5k. That's everything.
2 times? Yeah.
2 times 5 is...
Yeah, I play Makinos in my list, so my list has a little bit different reach than the list Shinigami is playing. But even if you would have Makino, you just block, right? You don't even need to go to 0.
Yeah. You know, even if you have Makino, the game would be over.
Yeah. Oh, important thing is the event that the Rayleigh event. It can only make a Rayleigh character or leader unblockable. So in this deck specifically, only the leader becomes unblockable, right? So that's
exactly.
maybe
Yeah, it is one of those. It's a difference between, you know, it is free because you do attach the active onto your Rayleigh, but unlike Diablo to Jump, you can't choose your characters, so you can't try to find that miracle double hit.
Yeah.
And GG's from Shinigami to Rick Master Flash is gonna take the Wii with
crazy.
He almost clicked end turn.
I was terrified there. I'm not gonna lie to you. My heart rate went up for a moment.
And the Mulligan in last life to settle it, like
definitely could have been a different game if the Mulligan was used a bit earlier on. But in the end, red blue Marco with this 7-cost Newgate will be able to win out the 52nd Chinoizecup.
Based on what you said now, based on what you said now, Kai, how is your blue purple addiction going?
I mean, no, it's in full force.
Be careful how you answer this question, because you can't defeat the allegations after you called Marco blue purple.
Well, he wrote a guy of 4 hours, like everything is blue purple now.
No, yesterday when I was commentating over the Japanese championship, I kept calling green blue Zoro-Sanji blue purple Sanji. So like it's been hard.
Okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's for the good cause.
Hey.
Um,
They
like-
need to
like-
ban the leader for me to actually stop playing it.
Don't worry, guys. I'm fine. You know.